farther one advanced, the warmer it became, and a nameless, acrid, and diffuse scent became apparent in the air. I wondered whether there were any actually igneous manifestations below, and whether the waters of that sunless sea were hot. The nameless scent was now curiously mixed with another and scarcely less offensive odor. Of what nature we could not guess, though we thought of decaying organisms and perhaps unknown subterranean fungi. Penguin beaks against the tough tissues Lake had dissected could hardly account for this terrible damage. Nature had played a hellish jest on them, and this was their tragic homecoming. Poor Lake, poor Gidney, and poor old ones. Scientists to the last. What had they done that we would not have done in their place? God, what intelligence and persistence. Radiates, vegetables, monstrosities, star spawn. Whatever they had been, they were men. Danforth and I have recollections of emerging into the great circular space and of threading our back trail through the cyclopean rooms and corridors of the Dead City. Yet these are purely dream fragments involving no memory of volition, details, or physical exertion. It was as if we floated in a nebulous world or dimension without time, causation, or orientation. All was well with the plane, and we clumsily hauled on our heavy flying furs. Danforth got the engine started without trouble, and we made a very smooth takeoff over the Nightmare City. As we drew close to the jutting peaks, the wind's strange piping again became manifest, and I could see Danforth's hand trembling at the controls. Rank amateur though I was, I thought at the moment that I might be a better navigator than he in effecting the dangerous crossing between pinnacles. And when I made motions to change seats and take over his duties, he did not protest. But Danforth, released from his piloting and keyed up to a dangerous nervous pitch, could not keep quiet. It was then that his mad shrieking brought us so close to disaster, by shattering my tight hold on myself and causing me to fumble helplessly with the controls for a moment. A second afterward, my resolution triumphed and we made the crossing safely. Yet, I am afraid that Danforth will never be the same again. He refused to tell me what final horror made him scream out so insanely, a horror which, I feel sadly sure, is mainly responsible for his present breakdown. He has on rare occasions whispered disjointed and irresponsible things about the Black Pit, the Carven Rim, the Proto-Shoggoths, the Elder Pharaohs, Yog-Sothoth, the Moon Ladder, and other bizarre conceptions. Of course, Danforth did not hint at any of those specific horrors till after his memory had had a chance to draw on his bygone reading. He could never have seen so much in one instantaneous glance. When he is fully himself, he repudiates all this and attributes it to his curious and macabre reading of the whole worm-riddled copy of the Necronomicon kept under lock and key in the college library. All that Danforth has ever hinted is that the final horror was a mirage, a single, fantastic, demonic glimpse among the churning zenith clouds of what lay back of those other westward mountains which the Old Ones had shunned and feared. His shrieks, though, at the time, were confined to the repetition of a single mad word of all too obvious source.